And the thing is that before that time, as I said, Morley was a very isolated community. It did enable Morley to take in goods from outside and also to export material. Down here, there was by Morley police station, there was actually a big coal mine up until 1909. So what I'm going to do now is show you the statues in front of the town hall, which indicate its heritage. Down here, it all ceased to be by the time it got to 1980. And so, I would say the key point indicating the decline was in the 1930s. Just the mill there was first installed, which was an important culture, but by the 1980s, all the mills disappeared. What the labour was female labour, weavers, and let nobody be under any illusions whatsoever. It was very, very hard work and difficult work. Can you imagine during the Great War, when probably, and this did happen, husband was away fighting at the front, they've got a large family with 4 or 5 kids, and mum is actually working in the mills, and not for all that much money either. Really, really hard work. The mills were extremely noisy. The result being of that many weavers, by the time they were 60 years old, were as deaf as posts, but all of them were expert lip readers. So, you know, you had to be very, very careful about gossiping in Morley. So there she is, a hero of the beginnings of the town. In 1895. I should tell you that the town hall is made of Yorkshire stone, and actually quite a lot of it came from a quarry which was in where the sports centre is now on Queensway. So if you can imagine that there were actually quarries there, and if you remember the old sports centre, it had to close down because of subsidence. And I don't think that they took into account that there had been a quarry there previously. The other thing that's notable is that there was a clock on the town hall spire. Can you imagine in 1895 everybody's got a watch these days, or they've got a mobile phone with the time on it. There were no such things as mobile phones, no such things even as radios. And so, if there was a public event, there would come onto the steps here and he would make an announcement about it. For example, the end of the Boer War in South Africa, that was announced on the town hall steps with a massive crowd around here. Likewise, when any monarch died, the same kind of thing happened, and also when the monarch was proclaimed, that occurred on the town hall steps, as it did with our own present Queen in 1952. Okay, so let's move on further. Any quarries in the area, so they were working there. This is to commemorate someone who did that kind of work. And can you see the lamp there by his feet? That was actually a safety lamp, so that you could go down into the pit where there's complete darkness, but also a tendency for a build-up of so-called marsh gas or methane. And so, in those circumstances, if there was a spark or a naked light, you would get an explosion. That lamp was specially designed so that it was possible to go down there and walk around. It was that particular lamp designed by a man called Best, who was a Morley man, and the lamps were made for many, many years at Tingley, at the so-called wet coal factory. And if you go around any coal mining museums, you can actually usually see one of his lamps there. Then around about 1890, this piece of granite is actually, the date on that is the 9th of October 1892, the laying of the foundation stone and that was laid by Alderman Thomas Clough, who was the mayor at the time, and also a quarryman. Whether he got any interest in this, I don't really know, but he was a quarryman. And they did have a big ceremony. We've actually got the photographs showing him he was given a silver trowel, and he lit some cement there and put down the foundation stone. The family have still got that trowel. They keep promising to give it to us, but we haven't really got our hands on it just yet. Okay, this is called Wellington Street. I did say that they wanted a police station incorporating into the town hall. In the old days, there was a big house there, which was the police inspector's house. Now, there were great law and order issues in the 1890s, and oh golly. So, they took that into account, and I myself am not a believer in all these stories about tunnels, but this is for a definite fact. They built a tunnel from the police inspector's house underneath Wellington Street and into the town hall, and we will actually see evidence of that when we go around the town hall. The police inspector's house is no more. What happened? Gosh, a nice new modern supermarket which came up in 73. What happened? Well, can you imagine, when Albert Asquith came to open the town hall, there were two mucky mills on either side of the town hall. What on earth he thought was they built this beautiful town hall and they put two mucky, smelly mills on either side of it, right? They were there, but they were going downhill by the 1960s. Morley, traditionally in those times, people took a certain amount of holiday at a specific time, the so-called Morley Feast Week, which was in the back end of August. On the 18th of August in 1961, when most Morley people were out of the town on holiday, a spark erupted in one of those mills at that side there. It caught the cloth, massive fire, and the sparks came over onto the town hall and caused the town hall dome to catch fire. Right, honestly, the town hall dome was completely destroyed, and it was on national television. So all these people on the holidays in Blackpool or Scarborough or wherever could see Morley Town Hall burning down. And that's the reason why you've got Morrison's supermarket there, because it just looked as though a bomb had dropped at that time when all the damage was cleared up, and there was just a load of empty space for, gosh, 1961 to 1973. It was just blank around there before Morrison's went up. Okay, we will actually be going to have a look around there. It is actually, I still think it looks rather magnificent, but it is no longer a magistrate's court, unfortunately, because the Lord Chancellor, bless him, decided it was costing too much brass, and now all Morley court cases are held down in Leeds. So you have to, if you have a problem which needs to be resolved in court, you have to go down to Leeds to get it sorted out. Okay. Explosive gas, methane. And this is what happened in 1872 with the Morley Main pit disaster. The Morley Main was actually, this is the one down by Morley Blue Station, which is now no more. And all these people were killed. Andy Dalton, who some of you have met, was actually responsible for putting this commemoration up together, and we did have a ceremony for it to remember all these people. And you can see that, in fact, they're given with their ages, and you can see that Henry Broadbent here was 14 years old when he died. And down here we've got George Parker, who was 16. So, you know, the school leaving age in well, there wasn't actually no public education in Morley in 1872, and children were going to work as early as 12 or 13 years of age. show of the town's heritage. There is this, you know, I think it's totally true to say that Morley is quite a hilly place. Would you understand that there's supposedly 7 hills in Morley, and people made a big fuss of it, that's like Rome, and the names of the hills are there. Well, having been to Rome, I have to say that really there isn't much similarity between them, but there are the names of the various hills. Okay, here we see some proud Morleyan that said that Morley is the centre of the universe. Actually, there are people in Morley who believe that, not me, but there are. A certain gentleman by the name of Harry Hardy, very, very proud man. I remember a speech day at the he actually said at the Morley Academy speech day in my day that Morley is the intellectual centre of the universe. I don't know if you've been around New York on that Central Line boat, but they sort of say that about New York, don't they? No, neither of them really. But there we are. Okay, these windows, you'll see quite a few of them around the town hall. There are 13 of them were put up in 1902 after the town hall was built. If you look at the similar format for all of them, this is actually donated by G.A. Fox, who was the architect of the town hall. It's for architecture, and there are his initials at the top there. These windows were designed in London and made in Leeds, and they cost £25 each. There on the corner it shows all the various coal mines in the town over the years, and I should say that there are very, very many of them, but the main ones in Morley had closed down by 1927, 1930. And actually the last bit of the area was at East Ardsley. That was in 1968. So, you know, that industry was just dying by that time. Right.